Johnson, welcome to a sampler review. Now, I don't usually do sampler reviews, and there's a reason for that. First of all, they are not really done so much for promotional uses for nowadays, let alone for actual albums to be sold. The second reason is most of the time samplers are there just, sample the things, give a little bit of indication what a given label is doing. So versus the band compilations, these are all about the label ones, and as such, they don't really make, albums to be sold. For some reason, however, Cold Spring Records from United Kingdom has decided to put out this double album featuring a lot of artists from the label called Arise, a Cold Spring Sampler, which is then again complemented with a rather fitting cover image. I mean, this looks bleak, lonely building in somewhere in the UK, I would assume. At least it looks like a UK seaside place with some islands maybe. And then of course on the back side of this double digipack sleeve you will have the artists and their songs listed. Inside you will have it more in details, so you get to see how much there is actually stuff. Like here, the other album, it features 16 songs and the other one has 17. And mind you, both of these CDs inside, I'm not even bothered taking them out, they're just CDs really. They're more than 79 minutes, so you can imagine my shock and quotation marks when I was like listening to these at work yesterday. So basically all of my almost 8 hours, that minus lunch break and what have you, I was listening to the whole sampler 3 times, both CDs, and that's what pretty much caught my whole work day. It was a kind of a confusing day in terms of listening experience, rewarding in many places, but also kind of dragging in so many places, which makes reviewing samplers like this really difficult task. I mean, not difficult in saying like what I'm listening and all that stuff describing, but let me put it this way. When you have a compilation of albums that don't really sound like one another, it's like a roller coaster ride. You're like, hey, here we are. These are really good songs. These are not. And the rest of the time you go like between the slopes and declines and what have you. But this is a really good showcase what there is in the label known as Cold Spring. Now, a lot of you probably have no idea what the hell is Cold Spring. It's not a metal label for first to begin with, but it's a label dedicated to dark ambient, industrial, power electronics, noisier, experimental field recordings, what have you. So when you think, you're like, here it is, the black metal marginal. There's the death metal marginal, even more underground black metal, and then you go down, under the whole stream, mainstream, gray area, underground, and then you really go somewhere really marginal world of music. And then there is label like Cold Spring. There are plenty others, good labels doing the kind of stuff, but they're not exactly big in commercial sense and all that stuff. These are kind of for dedicated fans. I would consider myself one, but then again, I'm mostly, when it comes to this kind of stuff, I'm more about ambient parts, drony parts and all that stuff. When it gets noisier, when it gets more into the world of power electronics or noise, then I'm like, okay, it's not really my cup of tea. Which makes, once again, reviewing these kind of bands kind of hard. I mean, if you take a look here, you will see some of the names I've been reviewing in the past, like Collapse, Jagath, Coil. Well, I didn't review Coil, but I've been listening to it. Dead Voices on Air, Lull, Machine and Zimmer, 412, and a lot of these stuff. But then again, there are lots of artists which I really haven't been going, like, say, Himu Cult, or Lee Ranaldo, or these Neil Chaney. But I can say there are some really good names like Sleep Research Facility. It's really good dark ambient. We have Ten Horn Beast here. We have Sonologist, which is also really good. There, of course, Lull mentioned, having a new album out 2024. that is around January. So a lot of cool ones. Also, this one is, which I didn't get for review for some reason. I guess Post Office just lost it, but this Lyn Isvin sounds like a Welsh name to me. Also really good, as I much remember listening to it. But like I said, this one is a combination of different styles. So this is not like you're gonna like all of them, because it's too much marginal music in too much different styles. Now, it's a really good way to sample all the Cold Spring releases, obviously, and it will probably give you some new names, what to follow, what to find out about, and all that stuff. But mind you, this can be a little bit of a drag, especially when you have two albums with almost 80 minutes each. So it's kind of like you have a lot of work to do when you're going through the whole album and beyond, or two albums for that matter, two CDs, whatever. So once again, this is for marginal. But if you want to, test the waters, dip your toes into the waters of marginal music beyond your typical underground metal, this is a really, really good way to start checking them out. Why so? Because you will find plenty of names. You will learn what not to like and what you will like and what are the potential ones between. So kind of hard to recommend to in any kind of a given individual, because if you're already a Cold Spring fan, you're liking a lot of bands, this sampler won't really have any kind of news for you, except that all these album artists are showcased here on these albums. But like I said, if you want to explore some new territories for your marginal music, then this is a really, really good way to do it. Now, I don't know if any of these artists are in full scope on streaming services, but obviously you will find quite a bit of this on Cold Spring's Bandcamp site. So you should definitely head there or go to the Cold Spring main site and you get to buy those CDs, and maybe there will be links for you to follow up, and then you will open world to the real underground marginal music and all that stuff. This is very, very interesting in so many ways, but just brace yourself for a little bit of disappointment, for a little bit of nasty but good surprise, and then you're good to go. Just buckle up, have your seatbelts on, and enjoy the ride. Thanks for your time with the review. Should you have questions about given bands or styles or whatever, let me know. And of course, more Discord talk on Rauta's Discord for your daily chat about metal and music like this. Take care and enjoy.